back, everyone. How's everybody doing today? If you're like me, you're just trying to survive another day with this coronavirus where you can't go anywhere and can't do anything. Well, one of the few things we can do is enjoy some good bourbon, or at least in this case, hopefully it is good bourbon. So, first and foremost, let me just give a shout out to some of the new viewers out there. K Banks, Denny Lynn, CJ, appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody, honestly, everyone that's subscribed and watching the videos. My man Chad as well. Really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys for watching the videos. Really appreciate all that you do. So I was kind of going back and forth with one of the viewers. So K Banks, my man K Banks, I think he's out in I believe the New Orleans, Louisiana area. So shout out to you. We were kind of going back and forth, and K Banks was like, "Hey, Bourbon Judge, what are you going to review this week?" So I was like, you know what? Let me change up a little bit. Let's do something that's not the big Buffalo Trace, the Diego, the Maz Bourbon distilleries, right? Let's change up and let's give a little love to maybe some of the smaller distilleries out there. So this is Koval. Koval Bourbon is made out of Chicago. So shout out to Chi-Town. So a little bit of information about Koval. So first and foremost, Koval has started back in 2008. So they've been around. They've really been in the game for like about 12 years, right? And when you think about Koval, there's a couple things that come to mind. They're a little bit harder to find, right? So you may have to go do some searching, right? Different liquor stores. You may have to ask friends, and maybe even in other states if they don't sell in your state, whether or not they can get this for you. But you know my thoughts, right? Always go try it at a restaurant or bar restaurant once they do reopen. And if you like it, go ahead and get a bottle, right? Or even put some effort into it, right? In terms of to finding it. But when you think about Koval, there are three things that stand out about them. Number one, all of their ingredients when they're making their bourbon, right, come from organic based products. So organic corn, wheat, rye, and so forth, right? So all the grains are all made from organic products, right? And they actually work with organic farmers to provide them with the organic different grains in order to then obviously make their bourbon and rye and so forth. So that's organic. That's number one. Number two, what's cool about Koval is you'll see here on the front, everything, each and every bottle is a single barrel expression. So literally every single bottle is single barrel. So you know what single bottles, you know what you're kind of getting, right? Well, technically you don't know what you're getting. It's going to be either so-so, it's going to be great, or it's going to be, unfortunately I bought this bottle. You never know what you're going to get, right? But that's the way it is, right? It's from a single barrel expression. And then the third thing about Koval, and this one's a little bit unique, is, and I'll kind of get into this more about the bourbon, but they make a rye. They make a 4-grain, and I know you hear the words 4-grain, you're probably thinking E.H. Teller, right? I know. I don't know if their version of 4-grain is like E.H. Teller good. Let's not go there just yet. But they do make a 4-grain, which is made of corn, wheat, rye, and the fourth ingredient, which is called millet. I'm gonna get into millet in just a second, right? That's their 4-grain. Their bourbon is made from 51% corn, which is normal bourbon, has to be that, right? In order to be called bourbon, it has to be made from 51% corn. But unlike every other bourbon company out there in Kentucky and Indiana, like MGP and Tennessee whiskey, right? The second ingredient is not a combination of malted barley, it's not rye, and it's not wheat. The other 49%, it's millet. And you're probably thinking, Bourbon Judge, what is millet? So I didn't know myself, honestly. I had to look it up. So millet is a grain that is primarily used in like Asia and Africa, in different countries in Africa and different countries in Asia, right? It's a grain, it's kind of similar to like a rice, maybe almost, kind of like rice, kind of like a grain, like a rice, if you will, right? And it changes, honestly, it changes the complexity of the bourbon because it's not your standard wheat, rye, or malted barley, right? It's millet. So let's see if this millet kind of lives up to the task and hopefully enhances the flavor. So let's go ahead and pour a little pour here. Let's see how this works out. All right, pour just a little bit. All right. So from a color standpoint, beautiful color. Let me give you an age statement. So this one is aged, it says on the back of the bottle here, age under 4 years. So we don't know the exact age, but we do know it's less than 4 years. And from a proof standpoint, 94 proof, 94, right? Again, I got this one for $50. So again, if you do end up trying it at a bar, restaurant, or from a good friend of yours that may have it, if you like it, grab a bottle because it's kind of hard to find. So beautiful color, right? All right, very nice. Let's get into the nose. Number one, what stands out is that grainy, that earthy smell. You don't get the traditional caramel brown sugar. You get a little bit more honey. It smells like wow, it kind of smells like a lower, not lower, I'm sorry. It smells almost like a blend of like a traditional bourbon mixed with like a Japanese whiskey. That grainy, spicy comes out big time too, which is funny. All right, so let me go ahead and say cheers to you guys. Okay, at 94 proof, very smooth, very clean down the palate. I get tons of honey, tons of you know, a little bit of vanilla in there as well, but I get a little bit of spice too, right? A little bit just kind of kicks me a little bit, right? As it kind of goes around a little bit in my mouth, even still after the after it went down. I get a lot of that like spiciness, right? Which you typically would get from a rye, but in this case, I'm getting it from the millet, so it's different. So, you know me, I'm an honest guy. I gotta give you guys an honest, straight up judgment. Well, judgment is in. This is a split decision. And I know you're probably thinking, Bourbon Judge, what are you talking about? What do you mean split decision? Is it good or is it not good? So I'm gonna give you two things. Number one, if you are a bourbon guy or a gal out there and you love your traditional caramel, brown sugar, honey, and just the traditional bourbon, then this is not the bourbon for you. But if you like Japanese whiskeys such as like Hibiki, that kind of offer that kind of hybrid, you know, bourbon American whiskey, but with a bit more on the spicier side, right? That grainier side, that earthy. If you like Japanese whiskeys, then you will love Koval. So that's the reason why I gotta give you a split decision. I'm kind of open. I like a little bit of both, right? I do love bourbon through and through, you know, core to my heart, right? But once in a while, I can mess with a little bit of the Japanese whiskeys that are out there. So if you like Japanese whiskeys, give this a try. And if you don't, it's not for you. Just make it go away. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you haven't done so thus far, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Talk to you soon. Stay safe. Peace out.